Hi, yeah, welcome to the video. Long time, yeah. So yeah, Playmates. We've grown up on Playmates. If you're of a certain age, I've grown up on Playmates. They've taken the cartoons and literally put the characters in your hands. And people also say they actually helped make the characters for the series as well. So Playmates, no matter how you look at them, they had a big role to play in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle craze of the 80s and 90s. A big impact. And I've said in other videos, their toys are awesome. They're classic toys. My first ever Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figure was Michelangelo. Yes, the original hard head, not soft heads. We didn't get soft heads in the UK, not that I know of. It's really funny because everywhere sold out. The main retailers in the UK, Argos, Toys R Us, Wolves, they sold out of all the Ninja Turtle toys. And one day we were just walking through a local market, and we saw a market stall full of Playmates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle characters. I was about like 5 or 6. I was like, wow, there was a big crowd. And I was looking and looking. Of course, the prices were much higher than the recommended retail price. But I got a Michelangelo. And yes, the packaging said Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, so he must have had a holiday to America and just bought loads. Or maybe somehow imported them, I don't know. But that was an awesome memory. An awesome memory. After that, my second figure was Raphael, the wacky action figure, not the original Playmates. Well, it's made by Playmates, but the wacky action figures, you know them, they look more cartoonish. Yeah, Raphael, the breakdancing Raphael. Even though the cartoon intro shows Michelangelo breakdancing, but anyway, it's an awesome toy, one of my first Ninja Turtle toys. Eventually later couldn't get the sewer layer, they sold out. So I remember making one from like cardboard and tubes. Like they used to sell old plastic tubes of baby wipes, and like got an empty one of those and cut those for the pipes, the sewer pipe. But yeah, couldn't find the sewer layer anywhere. Got the blimp though, and funny because the blimp, even the UK blimp, says Ninja. And we know, most of us know the story about how in the UK it was Hero Turtles because they couldn't have the word ninja because they deemed it as too violent, and they nerfed Michelangelo's nunchucks. He would, in the PR materials, he wouldn't be holding any nunchucks, or he'd be holding wrong weapons, yeah. Got a few products with examples of that, but I got the blimp, and it was the incorrect version. Later they released a more cartoon accurate, but I love the inaccurate version. That's so much nostalgia. The like olive green color and the bright orange logo. Had many hours of fun playing with that with my friends when I was like 5 or 6, yeah. Then eventually on a birthday I got the pizza thrower. Yeah, the original pizza thrower. That was an amazing toy, yeah. But yeah, a lot of good memories with Playmates. And yeah, I'm surprised. Well, it was very interesting to see. I opened up Reddit and they had the letter, the documentation saying that Playmates are no longer going to have the license, the master license. And yeah, a lot of fond memories with Playmates. I'm sure a lot of the viewers have fond memories with Playmates. Ninja Turtles is their main franchise. But getting those toys weren't easy. I remember, back when I was a kid being disappointed going to store after store and then being sold out, totally sold out. Now I'm wondering, was it intentional? Was it an intentional shortage? Like, some people may say that Nintendo does sometimes to really boost the demand. And people were going mad, in the stores. They were flying off the shelves. It was very hard to find the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. And you know, they just undersupplied the UK because other markets, like especially the USA, they got a lot of variations of the Ninja Turtles. They were well stocked. I'm sure at the beginning they sold out many places, but I remember disappointment after disappointment, you know, looking for these Ninja Turtle toys. And having to get them off like retro scalpers in markets. And even today, I think that Playmates underservices the UK, the crowd, the market in England. You have to, like for example, with their master re-releases. So they're basically bigger Ninja Turtle action figures that look similar to the retro ones, but have more articulation. You can't get them in any British retail outlet. The re-releases of the Pizza Thrower, they did like throwbacks. You can't get them like the Pizza Thrower, the Turtle Layer, the Blimp. What's that one? The Transporter, Shredder's Transporter. Any of those re-releases you still cannot get in the UK. You have to go on eBay or go on Amazon and pay exorbitant prices. So Playmates have a culture and tradition of underserving the English audience, the market in England. They have a tradition of doing that. They might see us as a pain in the arse with the extra legislation they had to deal with in the 80s and 90s with having to change the word ninja to hero. Yeah. That led to like, not only did they have to change the printing, they had to change the packaging and the designs and everything like that. If you look on the backing of the wacky action figures, the UK ones, the ones in England, the backing of those figures are different from the ones in America. So yeah, maybe Playmates sees us as a pain in the ass. But yeah, I think the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle franchise does need a change of scenery. Now, Playmates have done what they've been doing very well. They've been making beautiful toys, good quality, and I have said like their classic figures, you know, are second to none. However, the way they've been doing it, is wrong, and I don't like it. They ignore their crowd in England, the UK market. They ignore it. We have to go on Amazon USA and pay exorbitant prices, or Target exclusives, Walmart exclusives, totally ignoring other markets, especially the one in England. Or we have to go on eBay and pay scalpers, you know, or like there are very few retail outlets, you know, that supply the Playmates figures and play sets. For example, Hamleys, yes, wonderful, beautiful toy store, but they're always overpriced and you always pay more unless they're on sale. Sometimes they have some good sales. Forbidden Planet, wonderful, excellent place. Man Baby Central, you don't want to go there when it's crowded. Man Babies just barging into everyone. My toys. Yeah, that's me as well, you know. I'm a 40 plus man baby, you know. But they're so expensive in Forbidden Planet. They had the re-releases of the classic figures and the Storage Shell and I think the Sketch Turtles. That's another thing, the Sketch Turtles. In the American market, you get a set, the whole set of the Sketch Turtles, and you get a free comic with it. In the UK, you have to like go it from Amazon UK and buy them individually at inflated prices, no comic book. Or you got to go to Amazon USA and as I said, pay, you know. It's not just the prices that are higher, it's the shipping costs and the import charges. You know, Playmates, you know, you should have thought about your UK crowd. You should have thought about your UK market, because there are a lot of people that wanted to buy your products. Okay, why didn't you service them properly? Why did you ignore your crowd, your loyal fans in England? Why? So with that being said, yes, okay, Playmates were good and continue to do and put out good products, and I'm very interested to see what they do, you know, leading up to when they don't have the license anymore. I'd like to see what, are they going to have a sprint finish? Are they with, you know, really cool figures and play sets? Are they gonna distribute to England as they should, to major retail outlets like Argos, you know, and Amazon UK? Are they going to do that? Are they going to drop the ball again? Anyway, I am interested, very eager, and I'm sure all of you are, to see who will get the license next. And yes, I do think it is time for a change of scenery. Yeah, so it's time. Like, Playmates had their chance, and yeah, they're done. It's time for a new company, a different company to come in. And my prediction, well, not really a prediction, I hope that Hasbro get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle license, right? Oh yeah, totally, dude, Hasbro. Yeah, Hasbro are full of nostalgia. They made awesome WWF figures. The Hasbro WWF figures are brilliant. I don't want Mattel to get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle license. They might, because they've done these crossovers with He-Man and all of that, right? But I don't like the quality of their retro figures. I've bought a few WWF retro figures, such as these, and they're not as good as the original Hasbro. So I think Hasbro could do wonderful things, considering what they've done with the original WWF figures and the rings and the playsets. They can do wonderful things with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle franchise. And when I say Hasbro, I don't mean Hasbro Pulse, that little branch. I'm talking about the main Hasbro in all of the major retail outlets, pumping out Ninja Turtle stuff left, right and centre. That's what I want to see. That's what the franchise needs. And they need to supply the market in England properly. They need to do it properly. Don't drop the ball like Playmates. Don't drop the ball like Playmates. What do you think? Who do you think will get the license? And who would you like to see get the license, and why? Let me know. Comment down below. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing.